actually got a little ways to go before we get to the challenging stuff. This is my modified Redcat Gen-7. I decided to take it out on the trail, but not just any trail. Somewhere historic, somewhere frankly beautiful, but also very challenging. I take crawling very seriously. There's risk and calculation, but I have guilty pleasures. Sometimes I bash. So if you don't like watching crawlers bash, you might want to skip to about right here. What's up, guys? I decided to screw around with my Gen 7. Yeah, the one with the mixed reviews. But what if you made it awesome? What if you made it more flexible? What if you gave it better tires? What if you gave it the time of day that you would, let's say, a Traxxas or an Axle? Well, that's what I did. And besides a high center of gravity and a plastic servo horn, well, actually, let's not jump to any conclusions quite yet. It is a budget mobile, coming in at about $300. Worth it in my opinion. Or you can opt out and get the Sport for about $226. There is a difference between the Sport and the Pro. The Pro having lots of accessories and a hinged body design. And after a bit of modification, yours can look just like this. Alright, so what's the deal with this truck? Let's finally take a good look. Got a skateboard because, you know, in the woods, you want to skateboard. Shovel, flashlight, toolbox, some extra fuel for my electric vehicle. And honestly, this is just a retractable tie down. You know, something to hold, you know, round things. Chains and an original Gen 8 jack. This tactical wire is actually earplug wire. And these tires, actually overpaid for these. These aren't name brand by any means. I don't even know what brand they are. There's not a brand name, if that helps you. At least with the tire, but the wheel is Hobby Sole. Brand new, they were very stiff. I modified the foams and got a perfect balance of squish and stiffness, you know, for sidewall rigidity. Let's open the bonnet. Paying tribute to my European friends. I'm still with the stock motor, long past the original transmission. Aftermarket drive shafts, aftermarket link ends. Converted my stock springs to internal spring. Excuse me. Let me see here. I cut off the front of my truck so I could have more clearance. Much better servo. And I mounted my ESC right up front, kind of like a real radiator, so it gets a little bit of airflow. It doesn't change much, but it's a decent spot to put it. And with these slightly larger than stock wheels, it was extremely difficult to get this all to fit properly and still look like a scale truck. I did have to cut some link ends down to meet fender weld diameters. To fit in the wheel well without rubbing too bad. You know, words. This is one of the most challenging lines. Done it before? Never with any grace. But with these modifications, I think I got a chance. I've actually got a little ways to go before we get to the challenging stuff. Then, out of nowhere, I felt like I was being watched, so I had to investigate. Always watch out for hidden hazards. Sometimes it's like the trail comes alive and tries to eat your tires. Not today, trail. Next challenge. I'm going to try to get all the way over there. Through there. All the way from down there. Think I can do it? Seems like I found my limit. couple of things I want to make sure I didn't leave out. I do use an 18 tooth pinion, and some of you may be wondering why I don't have a bumper. Well, remember, I did cut off the front of my frame, but there is a great benefit to that. I do have a greatly improved approach angle. If you're still here, thank you for watching. Please stick around for a couple deleted scenes, and I will see you next time. It is now 1 week later. I would call it day 2, but technically we'll call it, I don't know. Either way, I'm feeling a lot better. Getting a lot better footage. Actually sticking to a plan. So I found a weird cave formation. It looks like it could be like the den of like some little creatures or something. I don't know why this is so fascinating to me. We gotta look inside there. Oh man, I hope this doesn't turn out to be found footage. Alright, help me for a second. How many frogs did you count? Alright, let me try to get a closer look.